A blessed day to each and every one. So today I am going to discuss about the need and the social stuff. But first, let me introduce who is George Herbert Mead. George Herbert Mead is an American sociologist, best known as a founder of American pragmatism, a pioneer of symbolic interaction theory, and as one of the founders of social psychology. Sociologist George Herbert Mead believed that people develop self-image through interactions with other people. He argued that the self, which is the part of a person's personality, consisting of self-awareness and self-image, is a product of social experience. He outlined four ideas about the self developed. First, the self develops solely through social experience. Mead rejected Freud's notion that personality is determined partly by biological drives. Second, social experience consists of the exchange of symbols. Mead emphasized that particularly human use of language and other symbols to convey meaning. Third, knowing others' intentions requires imagining the situation from their perspective. Mead believed that social experience depends on our seeing ourselves as others do, or as he coined it, taking the role of other. Fourth, understanding the role of the other results in self-awareness. He posited that there is an active I self and an objective me self. The I self is active and initiates action, therefore, can be considered the present and future phase of the self. The I represents the individual's identity based on others' response to the me. The me self continues, interrupts, or changes action depending on how others respond. The me is considered the socialized aspects of the individual. It represents learned behaviors, attitudes, and expectations of others, of society. The me is considered as a phase of the self that is in the past. Mead believed that the key to self-development is understanding the role of other. He also outlined the steps in the process of development from birth to adulthood. According to Mead, three activities develop the self: language or preparatory stage, play, and games. First, language or preparatory stage. It starts from the time we are born until we are about age 2 in this stage. Children mimic those around them. This is why parents of young children typically do not want to use foul language around them. This stage also develops a self by allowing individuals to respond to each other through symbols, gestures, words, and sounds. It was also conveys attitudes and opinions toward the subject or the person. Emotions such as anger, happiness, and confusion are conveyed through language. The second is the play stage. From about age 2 to 6, children are in the play stage. During the play stage, children play, pretend, and do not adhere to the rules in organized games like calendaro or basketball. Play develops selves by allowing individuals to to take on different roles, pretend, and express expectations of others. During role play, a person is able to internalize the perspective of others and develop an understanding how others feel about themselves and others in a variety of social situations. Third, games stage is from age 7 onwards. In this stage, children can begin to understand and adhere to the rules of the games. They then begin to play more formalized games because they begin to understand people's perspective or the perspective of the generalized others. Self is developed by understanding that there are rules in which one must abide by in order to win the game or be successful to an activity. So now, let's begin to discuss about the looking glass self. Our sense of self is influenced by others' views of us. Like need, sociologist Charles Horton Colley believed that we form our self-images through interaction with other people. Charles Horton Colley was an American sociologist at the University of Michigan who often based his ideas on observations of his children. He pioneered the idea of the looking glass zone, a theory that people develop a sense of self based on how they believed other people see and judge them. The looking glass self is a theory about how people develop an identity and sense of self. Individuals received ideas about themselves from others, interpret them, and incorporate them into their self image. The concept of the looking glass has three parts. First, the individual imagines other people's perceptions of him or her. Second, the individual then interprets other people's reactions, perceiving either positive or negative judgment. Third, based on this interpretation, the individual develops feelings such as pride or humiliation, which shape the individual's self-concept. This sense of self begins developing in childhood and by adulthood is usually solidly formed, although not completely defined. The process of developing and modifying a sense of self continues throughout an individual's life. As an individual comes into contact with new people and situations, beliefs regarding perception continually shape and reshape the sense of self. So that's all. That is my report about the need of social self. Thank you.